Hey guys, number one, I apologize for the yipping yo-yos across the street. They are, I think the mailman's going by, so you have to forgive it. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about the tools you will need to purchase a used car before a pre-purchase inspection. Now, we're going to go on the assumption that you're going to presumably look at a vehicle that you think is running and driving and in good shape. Now, of course, just go ahead and open an array of tools up for any other circumstance if one isn't running or whatever. That changes the whole game. We can get into that later. But this is a general rule of thumb. This is what, if I'm looking at a vehicle and I'm going to go purchase it, whether it's from a dealer, from an auction, and or from individual, this is what I'm bringing with me. I'm bringing 4 items, period. That's all I care about. First item, I always bring a flashlight. And the reason is not every car you need it, but some cars, depending on time of day and things like that, when you look underneath the rocker panels and stuff like that, a little bit of light would help go a long way. Second thing that I always bring is a scanner tool. Now, I always bring a scanner tool for live data. I will later explain that on the test drive. And you need to do this as well. With all my years of purchasing, and I don't even know how many thousands of cars later, I'm not good enough to jump in a car and just go by, hey, I think this is all right. Sometimes I might be okay, and there's been times that I've skipped this process and came out okay, but there's been times I skipped it, thought I was okay, and got burned. So the reason I'm giving you this information is to keep you in the safe zone. This particular one, you can see it right here. It does the scan tools with ABS and SRS airbags. Those are 2 very expensive modules that you don't want to play with. It also does live data. It's the 3160 by Innova. I think that's how they say it. Kind of like Innova. I'll show you how to use that in a second. And the reason I bring this is the things you cannot see. If there's a code pending that's not showing on the mill light, if they punch the mill light and you can't tell, if there's a temperature issue, if there is a fuel trim issue, I'll explain to you those later. Those are things you're not going to be able to tell with the naked eye that you want to be able to know immediately. Because this is your money you're talking about. You're talking about, hey, this person wants, let's say, $5,000. And in your mind, it's worth $5,000 because you assume all these things are good. But if they're lying about the ABS, if they're lying about the airbag, if they've covered up 2 or 3 codes, the car's overheating, you have a transmission code that isn't showing up. If there's anything going on with that vehicle that you can't identify by just a quick 10-minute test drive, you're going to want to know. This is the test they can't study for. That's a big deal. So the next thing I always have is a smart device with my Carfax on it, as well as a way to get me my Kelley Blue Book. Usually I'm old and can't see well. Shut up, kid. My kid's videotaping. You hear her laughing now. So I bring a tablet with me just because I can see it. And basically, I'm wireless. I know the smartphone's got them. I think I have a smartphone, but I don't know how to use it. Shut up again. So anyway, I just basically pull up my Carfax on location wherever I'm at. And I also will take about an extra 5 minutes just to look at Kelley Blue Book, just to kind of see where I'm at. So you're looking at bringing a smart device to be smart, no doubt. And you're not going to know the history of that car, and you're not going to know the internal mechanisms of the car. So those are the 2 things that are just, I cannot underscore heavy enough what it takes, or what type of risk you're taking by not knowing the history of the vehicle and the mechanics of the vehicle on how it actually runs and if there's any kind of issues. And I'm not saying you won't buy a car with some issues, but you need to buy the car knowing there's issues and knowing that it's going to be money. You don't want to pay $5 grand for something, say, that needs $2 grand worth of work that you can sell for $6, because that's a losing proposition. But if somebody wants $5 grand for it and you know it needs $2 grand worth of work, then you know you need to give them $2,000 if you even want to mess with it. So this is all just about helping you guys out. And of course, always bring you a cloth because you're going to be checking oil, you're getting your hands dirty. You always need a cloth, trust me. Always need a rag. Don't you, Lolly?
Yep.
Yep. Alright guys, so I guess the next step of this is the interior of a vehicle. And I hope that you're actually learning something from these videos. You think you're learning anything, Lolly?
I think so.
Lolly's not learning anything.
Actually, yes, I am.
Oh, she's learning something today. Well, wow. Who ever thought of that? Anyway, guys, as usual, we thank you for supporting us. Just going through some tough times right now. One of her members of her team on Homefront Hugs was involved in that senseless murder that happened down in Charleston, and it's terrible, but she's going to be back with us tomorrow. Heartbreaking stuff going on there. We can only wish their families just all the love in the world, and it's just a terrible situation, but you know we're all going to pull through it, and their family, and we don't ever know why God does the things he does, but sometimes he just does them. Meanwhile, please subscribe. What else?
Support Homefront Hugs.
Support Homefront Hugs, guys, especially now. Give them a shout. It's homefronthugs.com. Just go over there and see if there's anything you can do. Just maybe put some words of encouragement or, you know, anything like that. All right, guys. Love you, man, all around the world. See you on the next one, which is going to be the interior of a vehicle. Cut.